Hello and welcome to the Introduction to the Leadership Journey. I'm your host, Kit Allowitz, checking in today to talk about lesson number 3. Hopefully you've enjoyed lesson number 1 and number 2. Lesson number 3, we've got lots of content for you in this one to look at, discover, and take time to look at the way you see things. Because once again, if you take time to look at the way you see things, chances are things can change, and how you think about those things can change. In this particular lesson, let me just warm you up to a couple ideas. Todd Lucy is going to give you a introduction to thinking about some of the messages that have been kind of top of mind in our organization. We brought in a fantastic speaker this time. We'll give you a chance to examine her in terms of her content and her story. Her name is Allison Levine. She climbed Mount Everest and just is an amazing individual. We'll also be having you look at an article about the cost or the high cost of looking at an organization by Patric Ledin. We'll have you look at a PDF around the Trust IQ aggregate that we did as a organization. We're kept digging deep on trust, where there's something to trust. And I know that's not rocket science, but we really tried to look deep and examine some of the core components. So there's several things around trust for you to look at in this lesson. The Speed of Trust also offers these little cards that you can carry around, and you should contact me if you want these cards, because I can get you some. In this lesson, you'll look at a handful of the most prevalent cars that tend to get a lot of road traction, and ask you to look at those and become familiar with those. We also did a paper in this lesson around forecasting. As an organization, we're trying to follow one of the principles that you should have been familiar with now after you looked at the introduction to LEAD, which is called IPO, Input Processes Output. So we're trying to tackle forecasting and get to the far side of how we can use forecasting and run a better business here at Henderson-Hauser. And then the last invitation we're going to give to you is to take the time to read the Speed of Trust book by Dr. Stephen M.R. Covey. If you choose, it's a pretty darn good read, and we hope that you will enjoy this lesson number 3. See you next time.